Another powerful dunk, but another easy dunk. When are we going to see some defense?
Davis to James. Can't connect. Into the front court. It's Booker. Up a dozen. To Payton. Booker. Devin Booker is going to get 3 shots here. He's perfect from the line so far. Oops, he missed the first one. It's the second. One more coming. Westbrook into the front court. Trailing by 14. Has a chance. Oh, Russell Westbrook. Not looking pretty. 3 for 10.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
To Booker. Cleans it up. DeAndre Ayton to Booker. Anthony Davis able to recover with the block. That's his 3rd block this evening.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Add 2 points to the board.
Might have had an extra dribble or 2 there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Russ at the controls. To Davis. Shot from the lane won't go. To Paul. They'll get it down to Booker. DeAndre Ayton. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Misfires. It's no good. Trouble getting the ball across half court. Paul to Booker. Trying to cash in. Booker's shot off the mark. To Westbrook.
Well, you can't finish with your right hand on the left side of the rim. You actually have to use your opposite hand. Steve Nash is one of the best at this. Different shots at different angles, high off the glass, expecting that there are trees down below with long wingspans that can block your shot.
Count it, and the foul. He is going to the line for a free throw.
It never would have been a foul if you didn't give him space. Your job defensively is to stay attached to him at all times. Force him to put the ball on the ground and drive and make a shot over the trees below.
Count that one, and a 4-point trip. Westbrook across the timeline. His guys down big. Short jumper won't fall. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Suns. A pass stolen by Phoenix. We are at halftime in Game 7. Let's get you to Orlando, where we say hello to Jalen Rose in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Jalen.
I'm Jalen Rose, and this is your EA Sports Halftime Report. The Suns dominated this matchup from the opening tip. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Phoenix Suns. The Lakers may be in the building, but they did not show up for this game. There isn't enough time to get into all of their problems, but I'll tell you this, they need to try to get better. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Game track. Assists.
The Phoenix Suns are having a great time out there. When you see players getting their teammates involved and having fun, it's the best way to win. Chris Paul showing off some great passing skills in the first 2 quarters. Back to Ed and Jay to bring you the second half action.
Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor. Booker to Paul. Probing the defense. Here comes the screen. Curling inside. Anthony Davis rejects it. 4th this contest.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
Right time, right player.
Can't teach height.
Slam dunk, DeAndre Ayton.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Westbrook with the basketball. Down a bundle. That's no good. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Now Paul with the basketball. His guys lead here, early stages, 3rd quarter. Here comes the screen. DeAndre Ayton to Paul. Has a look. Wide open look, won't go. To Westbrook. Won't go down. Paul buries it on the catch and shoot. There's a 6th sense there that you just can't teach.
If you're a player on the same team with CP3, you should be taking that point guard out to dinner every single night. There's something to be said about a guard that makes the game way easier for you to be even more of an efficient offensive player.
James to Davis. Anthony Davis. Consistent effort. He's at 50%.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Here's Paul. Controlling the offense. To Booker. Knocks it down. Off the step back.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
James. They go down to Davis. Scores from the post.
Old school equals high percentage.
Paul into the front court. His guys hold a commanding lead. Mikal Bridges to Paul. Oh, he had him there for a second. Won't go. He has to find better opportunities.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
To Davis. Jumper's good.
This is what we call turning up here in the second half. I don't know what was said during the timeout or during the team huddle, but this player has really started to come out and play with purpose in the second half.
Here comes the screen. Oh, had him going there for a second. And the reward, a couple of shots at the line.
Ed and I want to go home too, but fouls like that only stop the clock for all of us.
DeAndre Ayton at the line. First one, count it. And gets both to drop at the line. Into the front court comes Collison. Looking to make something happen. And he'll head to the line.
Okay, now we're on the home stretch, and you got a big lead. Don't let your opponent back in this game by giving up extra possessions.
First free throw is good. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. Paul across the timeline. His guys holding the big lead. To Booker. Paul. Gets it at the top of the key. Fires the three and drains it.
And here's the setup, Ed, down the stretch. From a player who's been in these type of positions, eventually I'm going to hit you with a head fake, and you're going to have to jump considering I just made the last couple of threes. And that's when I find an easy way to get to the rim or force the defense to collapse to kick out for, guess what, another one.
Anthony Davis lets it fly. Doesn't get the bounce.
Wait on it. Hey, this is my man right here. Y'all get yours. I got ball. I got ball.
He's too good to leave that wide open. Defense has to communicate.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in a defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
Darren Collison at the line for 2 shots. Hasn't missed yet. And he connects on the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2. With the rock, it's Chris Paul. Knocks it down from mid-range. When you look at playmakers in the last decade plus, what sets Chris Paul apart?
He always puts you in a position to succeed. He leads because he's vocal, and when he directs and he guides, there is nobody better at the position than CP3.
Paul.
Wait on it.
Not that time. And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. The result, he's going to the line. Darren Collison, a couple of free throws on the way. He's perfect from the line so far. Knocks down the first.
Yes, sir.
Able to convert on both free throws. To Paul.
Yep. Wait on it.
Has a chance with the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
Ooh, shows like this separate the good players from the great ones. The good players, they have good first halves, and then they fade to black in the second. The great players, they just sustain that kind of dynamic energy throughout the entire ballgame.
No, the Suns come up with the steal.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready.
Flushes down the slam. Jay, they make it look so easy.
Yeah, but it's really not that easy. And as a passer, if your pass is just a fraction too early or a fraction too late, that throws the whole play off. The timing of this has to be impeccable.
Wait on it.
Paul, guarded by Carmelo Anthony. Oh, he had him there for a second. Well defended, shot no good. If it was anyone else, they'd be back on the bench for taking that shot. Offensive board. Anthony Davis, put back is good.
AD is absolutely going to have a feast if you don't try to lock him up.
Paul with it up top. He'll run the offense. Collison to Jordan. Anthony to Davis. They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. Thomas. And the Suns secure the rebound.
Hey, lock up, lock up.
Able to convert inside.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
Los Angeles, they have it. Thomas, down low for Davis. From the painted area, won't go down. Another follows, still no good. Paul, the pass taken away by the Lakers. Anthony Davis lets it go. He's looking for that touch.
I love when I see a good contest. You're crowding the player's landing space, which naturally makes him worrisome about turning an ankle on that landing.
To Davis. Here comes the screen. Anthony Davis, picked up by Booker. A drive to the basket, but it somehow stays out. Paul into the front court. Counting down toward a minute to play in this third quarter. To Booker. Knocks down a tough shot. Now a smothering defense.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Devin Booker. This guy can beat anyone straight up. Devin Booker, good closeout, still knocks it down.
This is a game of ways. As a defense, you have to recognize that they come and they go. That will not be the case all the time moving forward.
Time to shuffle things up. Thomas to Davis. Trying to cash in. Deep two there, won't go. And scores, plus the foul. DeAndre Jordan, another strong finish, going to the line for a chance at three.
Oh, he should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The refs bit, and that's the game.
Free throw good, so they get the three-point play. But it's not much more than a drop in the bucket with the score right where it is.
Hey, check up, let's go.
The drive, right to the basket. Right down the lane, but the shot won't go. Driving is Thomas, but a shot no good. Deep three, at the buzzer. 3 quarters down, and the Suns lead it big. It'll be Lakers ball as we begin the fourth quarter, and they've really had very little go right for them on either end of the floor.
Remember that old line, your attitude determines your altitude? Well, when you see dejected faces on the sideline, that poor body language gave you an impression that they had no chance to win this game.
Down for McGee. Off the assist.
You know, it reminds me of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Paul picked up by Westbrook. And scores. Strong take.
Sometimes when the players find that flow, nobody else needs to touch the ball. He's in a zone by himself.
Los Angeles has the basketball. Westbrook to Davis. Curling inside. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
Why not? Russell Westbrook is the only guy stopping Russell Westbrook. And when he decides to put his head down and go to the rim, he's going to the rim. It's that easy.
To Paul. Going to launch beyond the arc. Not that time. He missed it. To Payton. McGee punching it home with the putback slam.
JaVale has such a good nose around the basket until he doesn't.
What are you saying there, Jay?
Nah, it's 50-50 sometimes.
Well, hopefully it's half glass full in this regard. To Jordan. Had a good look there, but it's no good. Paul driving, but he can't connect.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player a short arm shot.
He cruises in for two. Too easy.
In the paint, you need to finish just like that.
Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor. McGee matched up with Trevor Ariza. Paul. And count the basket inside.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. The pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Some lineup changes now for both clubs. To Payton. Here comes the screen. Alfred Payton up against the 8-time All-Star. McGee powers it through. Jay, that's been the story this evening.
I mean, another one? Another dunk? Another easy possession? I mean, how demoralizing can this be for the team? Why am I the only one yelling? I don't see anybody on the bench yelling. I don't see anybody on the court even angry right now.
And count the basket.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Dwight Howard with a piece.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
A couple of cracks at the line now.
Sometimes when you get up big, you get a little careless. But attention to detail through the end, that's how you avoid unnecessary fouls.
First one goes down. Second one off the mark. He goes 1 for 2. Here comes the screen. Down for McGee. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched the epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. To Payton. The screen sets him up for 2.
Oh, don't see the read, be the read.
Howard to Westbrook. Short jumper won't go down.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
Screen coming. Nothing going here on that drive. He shoots. Oh, off the mark.
You know, Ed, everybody gives so much.
Flushes down the slam.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice finish. It's all business.
Russell Westbrook with the rock. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Down for McGee. To Payton. Beyond the arc for 3. Hits the trifecta.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
Now the Lakers are going to call a timeout as they'll talk things over here in this 4th quarter. Coach is going to shift gears and adjust his matchups. Westbrook to the basket, but his shot won't fall. To Payton. Down to 5. Down to 4 to shoot. Has a look. The shot by Payton won't fall.
We call some of these players practice players. You know, the guys that make 5 out of 10 shots in practice, but then all of a sudden they're not gamers because then they're making 1 of 10. That's exactly what you want him to do. You want him to take those kind of shots.
And now he's going to shoot a few more as he's fouled going up for it.
Just because a team's winning doesn't mean the refs are going to put away the whistle. Play right all the way through.
LeBron James has got 2 shots coming. Hasn't missed yet. And hits the first free throw. And he makes them both. To Payton. Sets him up. JaVale McGee. Here's a chance from long range. Can't connect. Off the assist.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Phoenix with it. JaVale McGee. Scores from the post.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want it.
James to Davis. And counted at the rim.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays, no one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
To Payton. Has a chance. Add 2 points to the board.
There's something that is so impressive about what we saw this evening. Not just the shot-making ability, but the fact that not every shot came from the pocket. There were some bad passes being made, and the shots came from different places around the body, which aren't usual for the typical shot. That shot-making ability, that's something special to watch.
Suns control the possession. Screen coming. Oh, had him going there for a second. JaVale McGee. The Suns with 4 to shoot. 4-3. I don't know, Jay. They have a big lead. This game is just about over. He might not make many friends on the other side with that 3.
No, I don't want to hear that generic coaching speak about dwindle down the shot clock, use the clock is your friend. No, if you have a chance to beat him by 50, beat him by 50. If you want to beat him by 100, keep shooting more threes.
To Payton. Here comes the screen. Anthony Davis snatching it out of the air. Ooh, 5 now.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
5 on the shot clock for Phoenix. Off the mark. With defense like that, little margin for error.
And this is where you know you have the offense right where you want them. Every possession, all you see them doing is complaining to the ref, complaining to each other. You're making the game uncomfortable. That's the mark of a good defense.
To Payton. Nothing going here on that drive. Payton. It was right there.
And this is where you know you have the offense right where you want them. Every possession, all you see them doing is complaining to the ref, complaining to each other. You're making the game uncomfortable. That's the mark of a good defense.
It's the Suns with the victory. They are champions of the Western Conference. They're on their way to the NBA Finals. For my partner, Jay Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been the NBA Playoffs on EA Sports. Find out more at EASports.com. Until next